All right. So I talked about this table that was coming up on page 701 earlier in one of the videos. And so here it is. Here is that table that covers every single test that we have. So I'm going to make some notes on here just so that we can see this. Now, this one, your geometric series here, let me get my little pointer, is this AR to the K, right? Here's the kicker on the geometric series. This actually has a value. The other test that actually has a value is that telescoping, right? So I'm going to put it down here. Oh my, learn how to spell it. That's step 1. Has a value. And these were both out of that 10.1 section. So your geometric series and your telescoping, those are the only two that actually have a value. Everything else we just say converges or diverges, right? But for that geometric series, I'm going to scoot this in. For that geometric series here that we're looking at, that's where you look at your R. If the absolute value of R is the tip-off. If R is less than 1, that's when you can use this formula to come up with the value. Okay? Divergence test is your go-to test. I have it written here also. I'm going to put it in blue as well. This is your go-to test. All right? So, if you cannot determine convergence from this, it does not apply. If your limit does not equal 0, then you know it diverges and you're done. The integral test is going to be typically an easy U sub or integral. It's not, the ones I give you aren't going to be too bad. If you have to do something else, it'll be a quick one step. I'm not getting super in depth with the integration on this. All right. For your integral test, whenever we're looking at this, it should be some easy U sub or something that you go through there. The same thing is happening on your test, your assessment. For the series is I'm not going to tell you which one to do, right? So as you're going back through the review and you're reviewing some of these different things, just go through it and try some out, whatever it is. So I'm not going to say use the blah, blah, blah for this. You're going to have to look at those defining characteristics, right? In easy integration, if you can't take the limit, immediately go there. P-series is visually obvious, right? Ratio test, you are looking for factorials or that k to the k. Your root test is raised to the k. So these two are also defining characteristics, right? So the comparison test and then the the limit comparison, here we're still looking to use that P series. So if you have some rational expression that you're looking at that does not work for the divergence test, right? So your limit goes to 0, so you have to try something else. Then you can use that comparison test. Or if you have like natural log in the numerator over a polynomial, or easy stuff like that, then you can use your comparison test. The limit comparison test is just that algorithm when you have that tougher rational that you're looking for. Your alternating series test, this is your backup. Backup for conditional convergence. All right? Your absolute convergence is where you have to take that absolute value. Absolute convergence implies convergence, right? Okay. I'm not worried about the remainder for this one. All right. Then your telescoping series actually has that value, and this is the one where you may need to do partial fractions if you're asked for that actual value. Now here's the other thing when it comes to telescoping. If you're not asked for an actual value, you might be able to use this telescoping with like a comparison test or something, right? So the only way that you have to work on this is if you're asked for an actual value. So that will be stated in the directions. All right? Okay, so this is a nice chart here that you have. So I will, of course, upload these notes so that you'll have this chart and then you'll be able to look at it. But this is a nice chart. It's also on page 701 if you have a book, or it is for section 10.8. which we don't cover because it's called choosing a convergence test. It's just all of them together, which is a nice little section. If you wanted to get into the study plan and try some of those out, that may be a good practice for you out of 10.8. But in your online book, this table will be in section 10.8.